Hi there, my name is Berin Stevens, and today what I want to talk about is clarinet embouchure. A clarinet embouchure is kind of a strange animal. It's not quite the things that we normally would do instinctively. So maybe first of all, I guess talking about how we hold the instrument a little bit. We mainly want to have about a, between our chest and the clarinet, we want about a 35-degree angle. I don't know if you, oops, I don't know if you can see that here very well. No, that's not kind of hard to see. But yeah, we don't want a 45-degree, or even like this. Sometimes you might see some pictures of jazz clarinetists and they got their clarinet out like this. And yeah, that's not normally how we play. The clarinet mouthpiece is designed for us to blow against the reed, not with the reed like on saxophone. So yeah, we want it more at this angle. Another important thing is keeping the neck straight. Because a lot of beginning players, they have a temptation to want to look down like this. But what's that do to the tone of my voice? It changes the tone. Or if we stretch up here like this, it also changes the tone of my voice, that's going to also change the tone of your clarinet. So yeah, you want to make sure that the head is straight up like this, but the clarinet has this angle. And then usually we put the teeth on top of the mouthpiece. A few more clarinetists might use what's called a double lip embouchure, where they curl the upper lip under the upper teeth. But I go ahead and just put my teeth on top of the mouthpiece. And then the tricky part comes though is with what do we do with the lower lip? And what we do is we stretch it across our lower teeth, so I get a firm lip here. Now the reason for this is this little stick of wood thingy here, some people call it a reed, it has to vibrate really fast, especially on the upper notes of the clarinet. When you get up around a high C, this thing has to vibrate close to 1,000 times per second. So yeah, it's having to move really fast. And so we don't want to do anything that's going to slow it down. So one of the first most fundamental things is making sure we have this here and have this stretched out flat. So a lot of times you might have heard that you should have a flat chin when you play clarinet, and that's true. But the flat chin is really just a side effect of stretching this lower lip out. So that's really where the focus should be. Now of course the problem is if I do that, oops, that was pretty. I'm going to have air leaking out the corners of my mouth. So we have to do a little bit of what we might call an E-oo tug of war. We go E, but we have to bring the corners in just a little bit. Let me with the clarinet here. So first I went like this, and I'm still getting that in there, but I'm now I'm bringing those in enough so I'm not leaking air out the sides. So it's kind of that little delicate balance. So we end up with this kind of strange, I don't know, kind of like a smile thing. Probably smile is not quite the right term, but a strange look if we don't have the clarinet in our face. The next important thing is the part we don't see, and this is what a lot of beginning clarinetists and even not so beginning clarinetists forget to do, and that is we have to get the oral cavity shape right. Now of course the throat should be open and relaxed. We never want to go, close it off. But what we do need to make sure we're doing is shaping the mouth so it's also in kind of an E shape. Like when you say the vowel E, what happens is the tongue hunches up towards the roof of the mouth. It makes a narrower passage for the air to go through, which will speed up the air. So just like if you're watching a stream and where the banks might get narrower, the water is going to go faster through that section. And so the same thing happens here. So another thing to help keep this reed vibrating fast enough and get the tone that we want is to keep that to get that E shape in there to keep the air going fast. Now what happens, of course, usually in the first year of clarinet playing, you spend most of the time in the low register, and it's not really noticeable at first if you don't have enough E in there. It wouldn't be noticeable until you get into the upper register, the middle C and up to the high C. And if you got too much of the, like an aw shape, like for playing saxophone, you might get that. And that's because you don't have enough support and speed to keep that reed vibrating fast enough. Or you might get that, something really horribly flat. So in order to get the upper register clarinet especially in tune, we need to get that shape. Now, it's best if you can get that shape even when you're still playing the low notes. Because it's really not a different different positioning depending on which register you're in. Kind of the way I put it a lot of times, the secret to playing the clarinet is controlling the high notes. So if you get good high notes, just keep that same position as you play the low notes, and you should be able to have good control and good sound all the way through the regular register of the clarinet. So anyway, those are just a few tips. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me. My email is berin@saxmyax.com. So that's BERIN at SAXMYAX.com. And my website is saxmyax.com. And anyway, thanks for listening.